Hi everyone, my name is Boris Lange. I'm the manager imaging Europe here at Edmund Optics, and today it's my pleasure to talk a little bit about Edmund in the framework of the Photonic Days in Jena. So just give me 1 second to share my screen and put this into full screen mode, and here we go. Okay, so again, it's my pleasure today to talk to you about Edmund, our company, who we are and what we do. And then I'll also finish on, share a little bit of insight, what it's like working at Edmund with you. That's our agenda for the next round, about 20 minutes. So let's jump right into it. And just to set the tone and give you a little bit of an idea of what the general mindset is here at Edmund, we really think of photonics and of optics in general as an enabling industry, an enabling technology for various different application spaces out there. I'm not going to read them all, but from sustainability to communications, medical diagnostics in particular over the last 2 years. There's just so many things in the world that rely on optics. And there's also our slogan, the future depends on optics. So this is what we believe in. This is what we are here, and we're quite proud to be a part of that. And it's really great to see what our customers are able to do with our optics. And the fun part is that you get to see this in so many different application spaces. So this is kind of where we're at. Just one particular example out of all of these different buckets is this case study that we did with Danfoss out of Denmark a couple of years ago. So the topic was that emissions from those big ships needed to be measured. There were regulations put in place to protect the environment, and so everyone was obliged to actually check and measure the exhausts of those ships. Okay. And yeah, it turns out that the exhaust system of such a big ship is not a very friendly place to be, especially not for optics, if you want to do optical measurements. But yeah, we teamed up with Danfoss, put in a lot of thought and work, and it turned out great. And so nowadays there's this beautiful sensor out there on many, many ships measuring those emissions and making sure that everything is right and on track. There are many more application notes and case studies on our website, so please feel free to check them out. We're moving on to a little bit of the core values of Edmund, and while they're all listed here, I just want to pronounce one of them, and that's the family feeling that we have here. It's a US company, but it's a family-owned company still. And yeah, you can really feel and tell that this is the case. We have very, very flat hierarchies. We're all on the same level. And that's really quite special, I believe, that feeling here at Edmund. So to give you a little bit of a history lesson about Edmund, there's plenty of history to be discussed. And actually, our marketing did a beautiful work. Again, on our website, you will find this beautiful timeline of the entire company with many interesting highlights. Way more than I could, of course, mention now in the short time that we have today. But you can really see where it all started back in 1942 and how it transitioned to, the first catalog over here. That's a nice picture. The picture below shows like a supermarket for optics, essentially. So this is where Edmund Optics was at in the 40s and 50s. That was in New Jersey, where our headquarters still is today. And then over the years, of course, Edmund transitioned, and there was a big swing from, let's say, hobby enthusiasts that were into astronomy and building their own telescopes. There was a big swing over to the industrial world. And yeah, this is also where we are still today, right? So there's a very nice journey to read and look at from hobby enthusiasts over to, well, still enthusiasts, I would say, but on the high-tech world of the spectrum. And also how Edmund transitioned from this local company with like a store, a supermarket-like store in New Jersey to the global player that we are today. So speaking of global, here's just a quick map, just to look at the globe with some indications where we have offices around the world. In particular, in Europe, it's worth, I guess, to highlight that we have an office in UK, France, Finland, and in Germany. and we host, from a functional point of view, we host salespeople, engineers, marketing, manufacturing, and of course also distribution. So that's what you can find here in Europe. Moving on and shifting gears a bit towards our products, we like to think of Edmund in 4 different categories that are depicted here, and I just have a quick summary slide for each and every one of those 4 categories. So starting with the one-stop shop, this is probably the one that you are quite familiar with already because we send out a lot of catalogs every year. And the one-stop shop that we are is what Edmund is known for in the entire industry, I guess. We have a huge variety of products that increases every year. A lot of them are actually made by ourselves in our own factories, but of course we have much more. There's much more in photonics than what we could produce. So you can also go, of course, ahead and find lasers and cameras and illumination, lab equipment, all the way down to lens cleaning tissues. So that's the whole idea of the one-stop shop of Edmund Optics. But as I said, we also manufacture optics ourselves in glass optics, that is. And one of these categories we call precision optics. And I think in particular, our A-sphere capabilities are worth mentioning here. Diamond turning capabilities are quite outstanding. And also there's a word to be said about our filter capabilities as well. Of course, we do much more. There's also prisms and normal lenses and achromats, triplets, all of that good jazz. But the 3 ones I mentioned explicitly are where we are quite outstanding indeed. Similar, but not similar, is laser optics. We like to think of that as a product group of its own because it's just a different game, right? There's a lot of more detail to be considered around coatings, around laser-induced damage thresholds and how to test this. The whole metrology bucket in itself is a whole different game, right? So that's why we group that. But that's why this is a single individual group. And then last but not least, and this is very near and dear to my heart, is of course the imaging world, which I'm responsible for here in Europe. So it's all about imaging, machine vision in all the various different industries. And we have also quite a nice variety of different products here, but also our custom capabilities are quite remarkable. The team here has seen a lot of success over the last years. So that's also something that we're quite proud of. Just to expand on that in a little bit more detail, just featuring some product highlights. On the left side, you see there's our liquid lens and 12 lenses. We implemented liquid lenses in quite a variety of different imaging lenses. So that's a lot of fun. Then in the middle, there's the ruggedized lenses, and this is to address the market need when it comes to harsh environments, right? So mechanical shocks and vibrations, but also temperature variations. And on the right side, there's a picture of a few of our lenses that are able to withstand water. So yeah, the imaging and machine vision world, it's already been on the factory floors, but now either the environment gets even harder, or if the imaging systems even leave the factory floor nowadays and go to the outside world, and then they have to deal with all these different considerations. All right, so that was the first chapter about Edmund and who we are, where he came from, what we do. And now the second and last part, our remaining time, I just want to highlight a few things that stand out when you think of Edmund Optics as an employer. So first of all, it's really worth noting that this is a very active program. Edmund spends a lot of time and effort and money on always staying at the top and making sure that Edmund is and stays a great employer. There's a variety of different bonuses and benefits listed here. I'm not quite sure where you're looking, where you are joining this presentation from. There's always some small variation between whether you are looking at the UK office or German office or the French office. So watch out for some details. But to be honest, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter where you're at. The company is a great company to be. It's a very healthy company with very friendly people. That's all that matters, I guess. All right, so moving over to concrete job opportunities. Of course, again, I need to recommend to check out our website for all the different positions we have around the globe. In Europe, there is one position that I like to highlight especially. This is the sales and application engineer that's listed here for York as well as for Mainz. That's really a great entry position into the company, maybe even into the industry as a whole, if you're fresh from university. But in particular, also for Edmund, this is a great starting position that really paves the way forward in all different directions: sales and engineering, design, R&D. That's really a great starting point if you want to start your career here at Edmund Optics. That's actually already all I had for today. If you have more questions, especially about Edmund as an employer and where we're at and where we go, my colleague Agnes would love to hear from you. So here are her contact details. Of course, you can also feel free to reach out to me. You will find also my contact details on LinkedIn and probably also somewhere in the material you get from the conference organizer. Thank you very much for your attention. It was my pleasure talking to you today. And yeah, hope to see you soon.